Testing 1, 2.
Press the power button.
How many are having my applauses? How many are having a great time this morning? Another question. Who would invite someone else to come to this event the next time we have it? Oh, you guys don't follow the direction. Clap your hands. Raise your hand. That's all right. That's just to put a smile on your face. Really, truly thank you for being here. I'm sure that God is truly working in your life as I speak. Without any further delay, next is a good friend of mine, Pastor Dave Enos. From all the way from Kansas City. He is the founder and principal of Enhanced Leadership, a premier executive consulting and leadership coaching enterprise existing to bring leaders to life through the one-to-one executive mentoring and one-to-few leadership coaching. Dave has spent most of his career in the apparel industry, holding key financial and operational executive positions at Lee Jeans, Gear for Sports, and Penn Emblem. As president, my mission at Advocent is to give, this is of course his words, to give employees the support they need to better serve our customers successfully. Oh, Jesus, help. Discuss that one. We do have a teacher here, so I'm sure she'll help me pronounce that. Thank you. Thank you for teaching me that word successfully. And bring resources to bear on problems and remove obstacles from the path of those released at Advocent to, goodness gracious, I'm getting old, to perform spontaneous acts of service. There is nothing more powerful than a man or a woman serving another in such a way that defies explanation. Wow, that's a word right there. That is the legacy we will choose to leave with each other, which each person we touch each day. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting and MBA with emphasis in leadership. God bless you.
Good morning. You know what? Next time I'll write it a lot shorter and sweeter. And you know, the fact that I'm here today as a pastor, and I have no formal training. I didn't go to seminary. But God's moved in my life like He's moved in a lot of your lives. You know, I want to start out by talking about the stupidity of men. Now, you women are going, now that's why I invited my man to come here today, is to hear this guy talk about the stupidity of men. And I was watching ESPN last night through airports on the way here, and I saw the little ticker, you know, at the bottom, the Chiefs trade Tony Gonzalez, and I'm like, arguably the best tight end ever to play professional football, to the Atlanta Falcons. And I was kind of like, oh my gosh, no, please. And then the second half of it, mind you, a second-round draft pick, not this year, which is today, but next year. Now that's stupid, right, guys? The best tight end in NFL history for a second-round draft pick next year. Good for Tony, bad for us. Stupid man. You know, I love what's been said so far, and I want us to understand, because I'm on the same journey that you're on. I am blinded too often by who God has made me and what He wants from me. Now, I want to tell a few stories that I hope you can relate to help you understand why we're blinded and what you can do about this. How many athletes do we have in the audience? A few athletes. All right, I'm with you. You know, I'm in this phase, and those of you who are near my age, I'm 48, will understand this. I'm in this phase of the older I get, the better I was. You with me? I was unbelievable. You know? You young guys will understand what I mean. Keep dreaming what you did. We'll get there. We'll get there. I have 3 children, one of which I have 2 girls and a boy, and my girls thought they were going to be athletes, and of course, the wishful father that I was, come on girls, you can do this, you can play soccer. And of course, I coached them, and I knew nothing about soccer. My very first experience coaching soccer was I taught them the pick and roll. And the opposing coach, you know, you can't do that. I'm going, why not? It works. So, I was not a good soccer coach, and similarly, my girls were not very good soccer players. Though athletes, they were both cheerleaders. But I tell you, God bless me, my 3rd child was a son. And he is so much fun to watch mature. And to some extent, I'm living vicariously, so I think I'm going to evolve to the stage, the older I get, the better he is. I'm hoping, right? But let me tell you about his first experience in football, because he's a pretty darn good football player, even though he's a shrimp. He's 5'0", 100 nothing, but he'll hit you, and he'll hit you hard. But we started 7 years ago. Now, mind you, he's only 13 now, but we started 7 years ago on this football team with coaches who really, all they did was wanted to run plays. So we'd show up for practice, and they'd split up offense and defense. One coach would take the defense, one coach would take the offense, and they'd just get the playbook out and say, okay, boys, we're going to run this, double wide split 36 dive. This is how you do it. Go. And they'd block and tackle and go. And they were fortunate because the kids were reasonably big and reasonably fast, and they had a great result that first season. That second season, same 2 coaches, same coaching technique. Let's run plays and scheme all practice long. Decent results. But then something changed. Some of our kids stopped growing, and some of the other kids that we were competing against grew more. Some of our kids started to get distracted with soccer or with spring baseball, so they weren't practicing football. And all of a sudden, in the games, their execution really started to look bad. Blocks were missed, tackles were missed, passes dropped, balls were fumbled, and games were lost. And that had a significant effect on the psyche of the players, even to the extent that some of the kids actually quit football because the results were such that they said, I'm not cut out for this. This isn't for me. So at the end of that season, I made a decision as a father, you know what? We're going to change teams. And we're going to try to get to a different kind of a coach. And lo and behold, one of the kids on our team who really wasn't very good, I kind of took a liking to him because I love to coach kids that were struggling. His dad was a former NFL player with a Super Bowl ring. And he said, I'm starting a team. And I'm like, I'm with you. Even though his kid wasn't good, all the good kids stayed with that team. My son was a pretty good player. So I was taking a bit of a chance, and I really had mixed emotions. But I said, I'm going to trust the fact that this guy knows what he's doing. And we joined this team that had basically mediocre kids, probably, but excellent coaching. And he had involved another player who has NFL experience on the team. So my kid and several others were getting coached by 2 former NFL players. And their practice sessions were really different than the other coaches they had. They spent 75% of their time on basics and fundamentals. They never lined up on the ball. It was one-on-one. You block, you try to break the block. You tackle, you try to get loose. You run with the ball, you hit. One-on-one, basics, fundamentals, just about all practice. And at the end of practice, if they did good, we'd run some plays. And what do you think happened to that group of mediocre kids?
They became good.
You betcha. Now, they weren't very good athletes, generally speaking, but they won. And you know what? When they didn't win, they played well and earned the respect and honor of the opposing players and coaches. Because they knew they gave 100%. Respect and honor followed those kids as well as the champions.